Or do we say like...
Hello, everyone from Floss Tube. This is Joe from Joe's Country Junction, and my girls are here with me. There's Kelly. There's Kayla. Say hi, girls.
Hi.
Hi.
I thought I'd give you, well, Kayla's been bugging me to try to do another Floss Tube again, and being we're all kind of home on the COVID thing, I thought, oh, what the heck, we can do this. So first I'll give you a little life update on me. Let me think, the last time we talked to you was back last year about this time, and my life was a little crazy then. My husband had lung cancer. He ended up passing away in June, so I am a widow now, and I gotta say, my kids have been super helpful and making the transition about the best it can go. Then in December, yes. Then in December, I lost my beagle, and she passed away. I had to put her to sleep, and a new puppy has entered my life. This is Rosie, and she has made my life joyful and miserable all at the same time. So go, Kel, your turn.
My life update. Last time we filmed, I had approximately a 2-week-old baby. If you can hear her in the background, that 2-week-old baby is now about 13 months old as of the 4th, which I think might be today. So she's 13 months old. She is very particular about her stuff and things. She loves her Baba, she loves her Passy, her Blankie, her dog, and her daddy. She puts up with me.
Her Baba is really a sippy cup, though, isn't it?
Yeah, she has it's just a big sippy. I am still working as a nurse. I'm currently, this is my last day of a 2-week quarantine for kind of an upper respiratory thing that I had. My COVID test came back negative, so that was good. But I was going to say I'm looking forward to joining the outside world, but I'm looking forward to staying home as much as possible. So I can now just go get my own milk if I need it.
Okay, Kayla.
Okay.
All right. Well, I had surgery for endometriosis on the same day that my dad had his lung surgery. And the surgery was successful, and we got pregnant, and we had a baby, and this is my baby, and he's 3 months old. So it's been quite the crazy year. I'm a teacher, so I'm home for the duration. As far as I know, school's canceled until at least the 30th. And they started closing school the week I was supposed to go back. So I've been on maternity leave since he was born January 11th. So we're just spending lots of time at home. He's a little fussy today, so I'm standing here like this, which is maybe not the ideal for filming. But anyway, we're having a good time staying home. I'm a total homebody, so if the circumstances were different, I would love it. But it's kind of scary, so that stinks. So he's my biggest update, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so besides Kayla's baby born since the last time we talked to you, my son Buck and Laura had a little girl just this week, and her name is Lily. Well, her real name's Lillian, but she's going to go by Lily. So we're all excited about that too. A little sad that we can't see the babies as much as we'd like to. And I was doing childcare, but I quit doing childcare I think the 19th of March, and I'm going with what school does, so I'm off until school starts. And you know, right now in Iowa that's April 30th, but we're not really expecting us to go back. I don't know, we'll see what happens, because we're just spectators. We don't make decisions. So yeah, Kelly, you want to show what you've been working on?
Sure. So one thing that I've been working on is Farm Life by Little House Needleworks. I don't know if you can see all of it. It's pretty much done, except I have a couple detail things to go back and do. I know I need to do them, but I was finding myself avoiding cross-stitching in total because I didn't want to finish up the little things, so I decided to work on another project and just put this one aside for a little bit. but with my mom's wonderful skill of nagging me to finish things, it'll get finished. The other piece, last time when we chatted, I had bought the fabric for His Eye is on the Sparrow by Heartstring Samplery. I've loved this pattern ever since I found it, and I've always wanted to sew it. For a long time, I was really on the fence about buying the right fabric or dyeing my own fabric or doing things in regards to fancy floss versus DMC. And I did make the dive, and I used the called for fabric and the called for floss. I started in the upper left hand corner, just have a little bit done there. And you can't really see, but I have all of the border done on the top and all of the border done on one side. And so I'm going to keep stitching it. With such a big piece, I was a little bit concerned that I might get bored with it. So I want to go around and do the whole border just to make sure everything matches up. And then I can work, there's lots of little motifs within the thing. So I can work on those individually. So if I get bored, I can just move to a new motif. So that's what I've been working on.
Okay. I kind of took a dive and I tried 40 count, and because I've never done 40 count before, and I was doing the Pins and Orts pattern by Heartstring Samplery, and I ended up stitching it. I don't have the center part where it says Pins and Orts done, because I'm thinking about just putting a J or a K or something like that in there instead. I was so nervous about trying something on a higher count, and I actually love it, and I love it better. I've never done one thread over two, and I actually really very, very, very much enjoyed it, and so much so that I ordered another pattern. And so I did Seeking Refuge by the Scarlet House, and I love the verse on there. On there it says, "When the world seems to be out of control, I find a way to nurture my soul, seeking refuge with needle and thread, the angst and anxiety no longer I dread." And I think that's just so appropriate for what we're going through right now with all the COVID things, that my needle really has been a good source, and I really do have less angst and anxiety when I'm stitching. And so I just started that, and I'm this far. This is also on 40 count, and I'm using the called for floss. I'm really, really enjoying this and having a good time with it. And I've been making myself, well, not making myself, I've been enjoying a couple hours of stitching every night before I go to bed, which I really appreciate doing. So yeah, that's what I've been working on as far as cross stitch goes. Kayla?
Okay, I had to unmute myself because little baby's a little fussy. I am always working on a doily. This one is a crochet doily. It's a pineapple design. But what I forgot about, so this one has points on it. So that means that every time there's a point, I have to start, do the point, stop. So there are going to be so many ends to weave in. I'm not very excited about that. I'll show you my knit doily when we talk about finished projects. And I'm also in the process of making a match to this.
Wow.
This is really cute.
It's one of my first socks. Here, little guy. And I've made lots of like baby socks and that kind of thing before, but then I finally made one for myself. And this is called Tribute. It's a free pattern on Knitty, which you can access on Ravelry. And of course, I will make a blog post for show notes. So
that sounds awesome.
I'm glad that you're doing that, Kayla.
Yes. Kayla is the knitter crocheter in the family. And Kelly and I do more sewing than knitting and crocheting. And speaking of sewing, I've been very busy making masks. I think I made, probably 125 in the last 2 weeks. Kayla's been making a lot of masks too. Now that they're saying or suggesting that people wear them all the time when they're outside, I decided to make another batch. And so I've got like 100 started, and hopefully this week I can get those done and move on to something else, because when I was on break I was so hoping, I had a big long list of things I was going to get done and do, but masks have taken over much of that. So I appreciate having a chance and being able to help, but I kind of do miss getting a chance to get some of my projects done too. I'm sure all of you can relate to that. So anybody else have something?
We should probably mention, you wrote a really good blog post about making masks. You've gotten so many questions about like, what's the right pattern and what's this and what's that. And I think you just said it best when it's just like, choose one that works. Because anyway, do you want to talk about that really quick?
Yeah.
A lot of people making masks.
I had a lot of people say, would message me and say, oh, I don't have elastic. How do you make fabric ties? Oh, I don't think these masks are doing anything good anyway. And I just had so many different people like questioning me or telling me I was doing something wrong when I was making masks. And I finally just decided that, we can watch 10 videos and we can still not have the perfect mask, because there really is no perfect mask. So just give yourself a little grace and go for it.
And N95s, those are the perfect mask.
Yes, but even those. Even those, they're not perfect though, because they only do 95% of the stuff.
95% of the point.
Right. So just, give yourself a break and sew with grace and just go for it and make masks. And hopefully I didn't bite off more than I can chew, but I contacted the fire department and the first responders today in our little local town. And I told them if they or their families need masks to let me know, and I'd be sewing for them. I've had a lot of people, friends, nurses, stuff like that come by and just pick them up. And I've just been giving them to them because it's the only thing I can do to help. And I'm somebody who's usually a person who likes to fix the problems if I can fix the problems. And sadly, I can't fix the problems, and this is all I can do. So I'm doing it. And I think if you have that kind of attitude, making masks isn't such drudgery work, because it is admittedly boring work. But I'm doing the glad to be doing
style, which is sewn like so. Mom's doing the pleated style, and we'll put links to both in the blog notes.
The pleated style like this. Yeah. And then I realized when I was making the first batches I was making them mostly for nurses that I knew. So I was using fun prints like, little butterflies and stuff like that. And then once they said yesterday that everybody should start be wearing masks, I went, oh my goodness, I have no masks for males. So my next batch of masks is mostly stripes and plaids and things like that instead of fun little prints. So yeah, perfect. Yeah, but I am going to put my dog in the kennel because she is like eating my hand while we talk, or biting my legs, or doing something like that. So I'm going to put her in the kennel, girls. Carry on and talk.
Okay, what are we talking about next? How does this work?
This is Georgia. She is making a quick little guest appearance.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
She's currently being pacified with French fries. Oh yeah. Hey, can you say hi?
She usually can.
Hi. What does the dinosaur say? Yeah, that's her favorite. What a dinosaur says.
So cute.
Yes. I have something I want to show. I haven't even shown you girls yet. In the mail yesterday, this came. It's going to be backwards. The lettering's going to be backwards.
Well, we can see it.
Can you see it? It's not backwards?
Yep.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. So I'm going to read what it says. A blog reader stitched this and sent it to me. It says, stitched in loving memory of Ruby. Dogs leave paw prints on our hearts and nose art everywhere else.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yes.
I'm just sweet.
Yeah, I'm just blown away that a blog reader would do that and send that to me. I just can't believe that could happen. And the lady that did it, her name's Maxine, and she put the date down here, and then she has her initials and name right down here. I got to find a special place for that now. I can't believe that somebody went through all that work and stitched that for me. It's super special. And like I said, Ruby died shortly the weekend right before Christmas. and we got Rosie right away. I just didn't want to be without a dog because I've lost enough stuff in my life. I don't want to have everything be lost. So we ended up getting Rosie, and she has just been a handful. And we're finally getting to the point that potty training is going a little better. And I've tried everything with her. She is just a handful of dog. And I just can't believe the way my life has changed having a puppy in my life. So it's seriously worse than a baby. Seriously. So yeah, I have a couple finishes. Do you guys have something else before I do finishes?
Let's do finishes.
I just have.
Oh, Kelly does.
I have a little tiny finish.
Okay. Go.
This one, it says Easter.
Yay!
I don't know what the pattern is called, but it is a Lizzie Kate design. I just went through and stitched it up. Unfortunately, right before I had to go into self-isolation for the last 14 days, I took all of my finishing things to Mom's. So I haven't been able to finish it. But I am hoping to be able to do so prior to Easter. So we'll see how that goes.
I don't know if you can see me before then.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so, but
probably not.
wishful thinking.
Yeah. We'll have it for next year.
Maybe when I make my like monthly run to Walmart this week, I might see if they have some sticky board or something to use in substitution. Yeah. We'll see.
Good idea. Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, go Mom.
I finished stitching Lizzie Kate's spring string, and I used Priscilla's thread changes, color changes, and was very happy with that. And then I was digging around to stitch something next, you know, for my next thing I was going to stitch, and I saw that I had this, and this is another Lizzie Kate sampling Easter. And I thought, oh, okay, I already have all these colors out. I like these colors. I'm just going to stitch this up. So I stitched that up. I used the same colors that Priscilla used for the spring string. Yes, and did that. And then I changed the basket color to white because my fabric was kind of a tan color. So white looked good. But then I ran into a problem. If you notice, the original pattern has this little bunny charm right here. Well, my pattern did not have a bunny charm, so I went everywhere looking for a bunny charm and could not find a bunny charm. And then somebody said to me, because I was on Etsy and I bought a pack there and nothing really worked, and then they were all silver and they didn't look right to me. So somebody suggested contacting your local needle shop. And so I did. So that for us, that would be in Osage, the Stitchery Nook. And look what they had. A little bunny charm. Yes. Perfect. And so I bought two, Kelly, because her pattern didn't have one either. So now we both have a little bunny charm. Now I need to finish that. But that's what I know about that. And so that's my last two finishes. That and the other the heartstring samplery one that I already showed you, but I haven't really finished that because I haven't decided what to do in the center. But I've got a couple quilt things, but I'll let Kayla go first.
Okay, baby just started getting fussy as soon as I unmuted myself, so we'll see. Oh, buddy, come on, you're okay.
Oh no.
No. How about? Well, here
as a grandma, I can go, Kayla.
Oh,
as a grandma. It's been just terribly hard to miss and not see the grandkids. It's really hard, but okay, Kayla's ready.
That's gorgeous.
So this is my knitted doily.
I can see you through it.
It's kind of hard to see because it's lace, but
it's gorgeous.
It's 34 inches square, and I have a problem where I have started. Oh no. Here you go. Sorry. I've started competing with myself at the county fair because there's only so many categories, and if you have a knit doily, then I'm gonna go back to gallery view because we're just seeing Kelly's background here. Okay.
Oh, she's back.
Welcome back. Okay. So I have to make doilies big enough to count as a tablecloth in order to not compete with myself at the fair. So that's why my knitted doily is so big. And I started it at about Christmas time, and then I finished it while I was on my maternity leave. And I finished it while I was on my maternity leave, and now I'm crocheting a doily on my extended leave. So that's what I'm up to.
Yeah,
So
those are good things.
I've been making
It
lots
looks
of little
awesome.
things. Thank you. I've been making lots of little things, but that's probably my biggest finish that I'm most happy with.
Oh, good. Good.
Okay, go Joe Bo.
Okay, I've got a quilt thing. I'll show you. I'll try to show you. I don't know how well this will go. You'll get a general idea. This is my quilt I've been, my latest finish. Here, I put it in front of the chair. Here.
Oh, cute.
Very nice.
Yep, and
I like that a lot.
I featured it on the blog yesterday, and then I featured a pattern for it on the blog today. And then tonight, because I blog twice a day at joescountryjunction.com. And then this is the same pattern, only it's a small version. And because this is a baby size, the other one is twin, like a twin bed size. And that one was done in bright colors. This one is done kind of like in wash or low volume prints, like a lot of people call them low volume prints, or like very baby pastel-y kind of colors. And so this one's really fun. It's very quick to sew. I'll be honest, I started and finished this all in one day. It's really a fast quilt. So just the baby size. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of quilting, trying to finish up some UFOs. The big one was supposed to be for a benefit for my nephew. He got in an accident, hurt his hand, and that one's going for that benefit, but the benefit was supposed to be in May, and you know how things are now, who knows if it will have to be rescheduled or changed.
Is gonna happen.
Yeah, we just don't know what's going to happen. So a blog reader sent me a UFO project, and that started out as her project, and she wasn't liking it. And so she sent it my way, and I added a lot more blocks to it, changed things up a little bit, but had a really, just a great amount of fun making that, and then making the baby quilt too. It's been really kind of fun to finish up somebody else's UFO. But yeah. Anything, girls?
Do we want to do like an upcoming plans?
Sure.
Upcoming plans? Sure.
Sure. Tell us, Kelly.
I go back to work tomorrow.
Maybe.
Maybe. Our hospital is a small rural critical access hospital. We're working on doing kind of like smart staffing, just making sure that we're staffing appropriately. We haven't had a large influx of patients yet. Hopefully, everybody is able to stay home, flatten the curve, and we don't get a large influx of patients. So I might end up not having to work tomorrow. We'll see. But I have a big batch of masks going that I want to get finished up. And then I think my other goal for the week is to get the border completed for his eyes on the sparrow.
Bless you.
Oh.
Did he have a sneeze?
He is a sneezer. He's a really sneezer. Lots of times when I talk to her, he sneezes.
So I think that's my plan. I might have picked up a couple extra shifts too at the hospital, so we'll see.
Yeah. How about you, Kayla?
You go next because it's noisy at my house.
Okay. Plans for me next, I want to keep working on the Seeking Refuge that I've been working on, and I'm kind of a monogamous stitcher. I might have 2 projects going, but usually just one. I get so excited about how one's going that I just can't put it down. So I don't know how people have, 12 projects that they're stitching on, but to each their own. Kelly and I did blow the bank, and we bought a couple cross stitch projects that are coming in the mail. We had, I'm going to grab something quick. Somebody talk. Kelly, you.
We did order some things in the mail. Okay. Yep.
I'm back.
We did.
I'm back. If you hit the newsstand and check out American Patchwork and Quilting, Kelly and I have 2 quilts featured in the magazine. This one is Fun and Games.
So glad that I remembered that.
That one was a quilt that I also made from things that a blog reader sent to me, just leftovers. Kayla and Kelly both helped kind of on the design of that, because I had the pieces here one day when they were here, and they kind of helped me come up with a design, and I sat at the kitchen table and sewed while they were busy doing things too. And the other one that's in the magazine is called Happy Surprises. That's this quilt right here.
Is that the calendar quilt?
It is the calendar quilt. This quilt was inspired. My husband and I had gone up to Orinoco to Gold Rush. It's north of Rochester, Minnesota, and it's a big antique show, really fun antique show flea market. It's just huge. I mean, by the end of the day, walking it, your feet are killing you. But it's a fun feet killing because you see so many things. Well, anyway, when I was there and looking at projects or looking at things, I was taking pictures of lots of quilts because I wanted to have something to blog about. And oh well, people are always interested in quilts, aren't they? So I was taking pictures, and this was one of the quilts I saw when I was there. Not this quilt, but a design like this. And then I came home and kind of dinked around, and Kelly helped me, and we got something designed. And I think you sewed this one, didn't you, Kelly?
I don't remember for sure, because we had originally, I think that one originally was going to be in the book.
It was.
And at the last minute, we pulled it and put a different one in the book. And then I think we made this one at the end of all of the quilts in the book.
Yes.
So I don't remember for sure who made that
one. I have a feeling you did. So this is what it looks like. It's an unusual block because it's actually like a rectangular block. But we had lots of fun, and so we've never had 2 quilts in one magazine before, so that's kind of fun and exciting. So yeah.
How fancy we are.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
we do good teamwork.
Exactly.
And so other things I'm working on is I told myself you only have to make 10 masks today, and then you can do whatever you want. And so that's going to include some cross stitching tonight, but I'm also participating in Bonnie Hunter's quilt along that she's having right now at quiltville.com. I'm also participating in the Old World Fantasy quilt along with Quilted Twins. And just today, something
Good
new.
Lord, Joe.
I know, Temecula Quilt Company, if you go on their Facebook page, they're having just a small little quilt along. I think you're just going to make little 3.5-inch finished blocks. So I am going to work on that this afternoon, and hopefully I'll get caught up with all 3 of those things, because so many people, it's so nice and generous that designers are offering a lot of free patterns and things to entertain ourselves while COVID is happening. And I really appreciate that. There's so many cross stitch things. I'm so tempted to do one, but I ended up telling myself, no, you're not going to start doing all those little cross stitch. Just put all your time into the Seeking Refuge one that I'm already doing. And so I'm kind of excited about just having lots of fun things to do while we're stuck at home. And thankfully I have a huge stash, so I don't have to worry about running out of fabric. I just totally laughed at somebody yesterday. They came and picked up masks, and she goes, I can get you more fabric, and I can get you some fabric. And I'm like, no, this is perfect. I can use
this is cleaning out my stash a little bit.
Right. And somebody else was kind of complaining because they said, I read this online, that Joanne Fabrics was using their remnants when they were making the mask kits and giving them out to people. And it's like, I'm using some not so favorite fabric of mine, so I think that's perfectly okay to do that, because we all have some of that fabric that we look at it and go, what did we buy that for? Or the style has changed or something like that. If somebody needs and wants a mask, they really don't care what the print is. So use that up. And I've been going through my solids cabinet, because I'll have 1/4 of a yard of this left or 1/4 of a yard of that left after I'm done with the project. And I've been using all those solids up and using those for the ties. And so it makes me feel good that some things that I'm not as excited about are leaving the house. So yeah.
Just a quick note on the cross stitch things. If you're interested in those, a lot of the designers that have been putting them out, I don't remember who's all heading it up, but if you do go onto Facebook, if you look for Keepsakes, it's the cross stitch shop that's kind of organizing things. If you go on their Facebook page, they'll have a post with links to all of the patterns and things like that and pictures. So you can find them on Facebook. It's a store based out of Ohio. So if that gives you any hints.
That's so awesome that they're doing that. Yeah. Okay, Kayla, do you have plans for the future?
I do. So we're busy. Jasper just got a new stroller, so we've been going outside almost every day, and we've been working on our garden. So I'm going to plant my cold weather crops. I already got peas in, and I'm going to make my other sock. And then my next plan is a pair of cabled mittens, and then cabled gloves, and then colorwork mittens. So I'm kind of working through my stash and just using up what I have, and I'm excited to get those all going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Harvesting asparagus here soon.
Yeah, I'm hoping to too, but we haven't had quite enough of those humid days. Usually they like a little more humid, so I've got to cut down my raspberries. But we had.
I'm gonna stay in the house.
Yeah, we had snow and ice yesterday. Did you, Kayla?
No, we didn't. I mean, it was rainy and kind of cold, but we still went out on a walk and everything.
Yeah. Well, before we digress into family talk, we probably should tell you all goodbye, and we'll try to do this again while we're still all trapped up in COVID. I so appreciate seeing the girls and seeing the kids. Video has been just such a blessing for me, just to stay connected, because I'd be lost without the kids. So, yeah. Hi, Georgie. So,
hey, Georgie, who's that? Is it Grandma Joe and Kayla?
Yeah.
And baby Jasper? Are you so excited? Hey,
she was so excited. So, anything else, girls, or are we gonna say goodbye?
We can say bye.
Bye bye.